Greetings, Facebook family. Um, it's a brand new day, and I'm live again. What's up? Today, I kind of want to piggyback on my other video about where the darkness meets the light. That's kind of still been with me, that topic of opposites, integrating the two, saying that there really is no delineation between the two. Greetings. Um, I really feel strongly about that. And I'll give a little bit of history and probably go around the world a little bit, but it's all going to come together in the end. What's in my heart about this is war. A lot of times we have outward wars where countries are against countries, people are against people, the sexes, the war of the sexes. We had a world of masculine domination. Then we have the feminist movement, and really from every facet of life, you can really just create your own ideas about that and do your own research and see where there have been opposites and people at war. But what this is about is I am just so tired of people fighting each other for no reason at all when the real war is within. The reason why we fight against others and we oppose others is genuinely to determine or to make a delineation of what we feel that we are not. Think about when it's a lot. Back when homosexuality was very prevalent among the men, and I'm saying men specifically, when men began to come out of the closet. I know from whatever early beginnings of homosexuality that, a lot of people were in the closet for many decades and so forth. But when it became such a big deal, you saw a lot of men proving their masculinity, right? They wanted to prove that they were not gay. They wanted to prove that they are not as feminine as they seemed or as people thought they were, what have you. So you have that movement. Then you had the movement of women when they wanted to prove that they could be just as masculine as men. They wanted to prove that they weren't weak, because that whole premise of women are the weaker sex was very strong, and it was upheld. So women began to bombard the shipyards, the factories, the places where they had to show their strength, bodybuilding, and just showing that they can do the same thing that men can do, right? But what just those two analogies, those two concepts show is that the war was inside. Who do you have to prove to? We're always proving something to somebody, and the person that you're truly proving it to is yourself, for the most part. And that's my opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. But one thing that we should always consider is that the war that we have with anyone it starts inside first. And if we can stop seeing other people as outside of us or nothing like us, then we will stop the wars with each other. We will begin to include them in our thoughts and in our prayers and our well wishes. And just as we desire to be seen and loved and viewed as a full human being with every human right that you were born with, everything that's your birthright, you want to see that for someone else because you see them as yourself. And that's kind of, like I said, I'm all around the world because my thoughts aren't quite developed yet, but maybe at some point I'll write this down. I do want to share some books I've read within the last few years. I know I come on here and share quite a lot of deep stuff where I feel passionate about, and everything's just not popping out of my head just randomly. There are some things that were planted, and I've read some books and I've researched and develop my own thoughts about things. I want to share this brother here. He's a former bishop, or maybe still a bishop, I'm not sure. But Carlton Pearson, he wrote the book, The Gospel of Inclusion, and it says, reaching beyond religious fundamentalism to the true love of God and self. So he talks about what true love is. And to love others and to truly have love for others is to first love yourself and know who you are first and foremost, and then you will share that love with others. You will love others instead of judging them first and foremost. A lot of times we pass judgment and we want to separate, especially if we feel strongly about showing others that we are righteous. Then we feel like we have to condemn people that appear to be unrighteous. Just because someone appears to be unrighteous doesn't mean that they really aren't. It's just that's how you see them at that moment, or that's the perspective that you have of them at that moment. And maybe they're going through some things. Maybe they're having war inside of themselves. Maybe they've gotten angry, and with that anger taking over them, maybe they've done something disagreeable or illegal. I don't know. Maybe they burned somebody's house down. I don't know. Whatever. But you see them as, oh, they should be punished. They're evil. They're this and that. And, oh, I'm so righteous and holy, and I'm nothing like that person. And we make that difference a lot of times. I don't know why we feel that that is the only option that we have in order to show who we really are. But true enough, that's what people do. And the peace sign, that little circle, and you have a half of the circle rolled over into the other side, the black and white mixed together, and I got my black and white stripes on, just showing integration. That's true peace. When what is perceived as right or good is intermingled with that which is perceived as wrong or bad, and vice versa, to show the fullness of creation, to show the fullness of each other, the spectrum. There's a saying that if you've never suffered, if you've never been angry or sad, you'll never truly feel and know the feeling of being happy and loving, or the positive side. Without one end of the spectrum, you can't appreciate the other end of the spectrum, if that makes sense. So there's another book I have. So this book here, I think it was published in 2006. If you are interested in reading his book on the Gospel of Inclusion, which he actually includes everybody. A lot of people that are raised in various different denominations of Christianity, they created the denominations for whatever reason, instead of there just being one blanket Christianity religion, just as there's the Jewish people, the Muslims, but there are delineations of really a lot of the different religions. But he's saying that let's include everybody. If we have love of God and our God is the same God, either you're claiming that your God is a different God from the God that these people worship, and the one that created them is not the same one that created you. Either you're doing that, or either you're just giving a different perspective of that same God. So the truth of the matter is, it's the same God. It's the same creator. It's the same original source for all life. So why not integrate that which you have no understanding of or understanding of and learn from them? Integrate the knowledge, integrate the teachings, make comparisons, do your research, but know that they deserve life and happiness just as much as you do. They're worthy of joy and fulfillment just as much as you are. So why are we consistently judging and separating ourselves from others? Okay, this is the other book that I wanted to show. God is not a Christian, wait, there's my finger, nor a Jew, Muslim, or Hindu. And I can't read that small. It says, God dwells with us, in us, around us, as us. This is another book by Bishop Carlton Pearson. And this one was published in 2010. And of course, people that know me personally know that I come from a very religious background. And, I enjoyed it actually. As a child growing up, I was very deep into it. I tried my best to be fully sold out and dedicated, everything. But I had so many questions and I wanted to know more. I wanted to know why this was the only true way that I was being taught, the only true way to get to heaven and get to God and so forth. So I began to search for myself. I began to study things. And this is just where I end up. I'm here. Not particularly outside of it, because I don't ascribe to a lot of the places that I've gone. Like, I've been in Baptist church, I've been in a non-denominational church, a Pentecostal church, apostolic, and I've really been connected with Muslims, Moorish Americans, Buddhists, Hindus. It's just been a lot of stuff that I've studied, and I love everybody that actually owns those views or ascribes, maybe that's a better word, ascribes to those views. Everything really kind of boils down to religion for me, but I do want to touch on specific things in society outside of religion. Religion is not the only debate here. Societal issues. We have a lot of people that are opposed to the LGBT community. That's another big topic. And they're human beings as well. They desire to be loved. And it's just so much. There was a time that people were calling me gay because I had cut my hair. I was bald. I'm not going to show y'all those pictures, but I went to my hair being this short, right? And people were just spreading rumors and saying, oh, she done went to the other side, or she done had something happen in her life and this and that, whatever. I really didn't care. And I really didn't comment about it. I'm like, that's your view. Your opinion of me is none of my business. And that's where I am right now. Everybody worries about other people's opinions. And that doesn't change my life. That doesn't change my walk. If you think one way or the other of me, if you think I'm a good person and I do something bad, or if you think I'm a terrible person and I do something good, that doesn't change my actions. It doesn't change who I truly am, whether you know the inside of me or not. There's a rapper, and I'm not into rap, but somebody says, God knows my heart. Only God can judge me. That's it. Only God can judge me. See, I don't even know the lyrics. But let's stop being other people's gods. What Carlton Pearson said is that God is in us, around us. And I watched this video of this song. Somebody sent me a gospel song because they want me to sing, coming up in a couple weeks. No, next month. But anyway, it was a beautiful song. It was very, very powerful and heartfelt and very real, I forgot my point. But, I know. The music was what made the difference. That band was on point. And what I saw while I was watching that video is the magnanimity of the song, of the music, and the build up and the energy. It was like a cathedral type church where they did the live recording and everything. And I was like, they could be singing any words to that music. And you know how some people will change the lyrics to secular music, is what we've called it in church, secular, contemporary, whatever, and put gospel lyrics to it, or vice versa. If you hear a nice gospel song and you change the words to make it into a love song, instead of talking about God and Jesus, you talk about your lover, your husband, wife, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, what epiphany that I had was God is in sound. God is around us where one or two or three, well, no, where two or three or more are gathered. God is there. Our Creator is there because unity consciousness is what matters. That's what most concerns God, our Creator, and whomever you view. Some people view themselves as God, but the reason for that is because God is within you. And when you identify with that spirit, that breath that you cannot recreate on your own. Yeah, somebody might stick a tube down your throat if you stop breathing, but they got it from somewhere. They didn't go into a factory and create air itself. They've only learned how to harness it. So the magnitude of the people that I saw in the video, back to the video, I saw that that's where they get the power from. That's where the energy comes from, is because everyone's gathered together in unity. That's the truth of what we are here to experience. We experience our individual lives and we know who we are. We're here to learn who we are as an individual, as the gender that you've come here to be, as separate. But through learning more about ourselves, the more that will teach us that we're just like the next person, that there truly is no difference. But we have these experiences of saying that, well, that's a woman, that's a man, that's a girl, that's a boy. But when that woman says, oh, I have a man in my body, I'm a man, and I got my little collar, kind of a masculine type shirt on. I was thinking about this when I was getting ready to go live. I was like, the androgynous whole. Don't laugh at my deep voice. I tried. And then you have those men that say, oh no, honey, I'm a woman. I am a she. Don't call me no he. I'm a she. That's okay. Wow. Whew. And it's a lot going on. I just got a text message that was real serious. But that's just what I wanted to share. That if we can find ways to simply, unanimously show love to everybody that we come in contact with, no matter what their particular determinants are that describe them, or even the things that they take part in, the war on gun control or the war on drugs, and people are hurting. A lot of times people wouldn't go to substance abuse or violence if they felt loved, if they felt included in someone else's life or in someone else's conversation. I remember in high school, I used to go around to the friends of mine, well, the classmates of mine that were standing alone. I might start off around this group of youth talking to my friends, and then I might, stand around and look, and I see somebody standing up against the wall by themselves during lunch or right before the bell rings. I would go over to them and talk to them and say, hey, how you doing? Why are you looking so sad? I couldn't stand that because I knew that even in the midst of a crowd, I had moments where I felt completely alone. And so I felt that for others when they physically were alone. That's how I felt. But I knew that they needed the company that I could give, and others. I'm like, come over here with us. Or, hey, isn't that your friend over there? You can go talk to them. Different things that I would say to them to try to perk them up, or, get their mind off their problems, or even allow them to share whatever was going on with them. Just getting it off their chest, kind of help boost their mood, right? So I'm on this journey of loving everybody and being the love that I need in my life and sharing it with others. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully something was said to spark a change or joy or understanding with someone. I hope I didn't step on any toes or anything like that. I love everybody, and this is my truth. I'm feeling drawn to share for some reason. So, this world is about to change, you guys, and it's time for us to get on board and be the change that we seek to experience. So, if you continue to take part in the bashing of others, the destroying of others and others' worlds and others' views, then you might as well expect that to come to you, because you are just like them in many, many ways. Maybe not in the specific ways that you are viewing, or from your perspective, you see, oh, I'm not gay. I am not this. I'm not that. And, we have the war where I keep saying, well, it's a war, really, truly, where you have the different religions and the different sects of Islam. I know they have the Sufis, the Sunnis, and now the Moorish. It's just so many different things. The Christians, the Jewish, we have the Hebrews. They argue a lot with the Moorish Americans, the Hebrew Israelites. It's like they're saying that there are a lot of differences, but where are you the same? Where are you the same? I have so many different friends on my Facebook that are, hopefully y'all won't unfriend me after this video, but I love everybody in every different aspect and every facet of life, every walk of life that you ascribe to, from wherever you come from, whatever you wear, wherever you are. I have international Facebook friends and actually talk to them, and they talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Just show love. Just be love and light, and that's what will come to you. Okay? Thank you for viewing. I see so many that have come to view me, but no comments. I really appreciate this. Peace and love and light. Maybe I'll clarify something that I've said later on. I'll rewatch it. Okay. Thank you.